Good morning, everybody. Happy Super Bowl Monday. It is 5:30 a.m. here in the Philippines, and we're sitting in the car hoping that some nice person is going to let us in and get on our way to taking Asnet to work. As you can see, this is a very realistic viewpoint of what it's like to drive on a Filipino roadway. But you'll see, let's see if I can catch one here. If you count the lanes, there are actually 5 lanes of traffic driving in a 2-lane highway. 5 lanes. So anyways, here we are back on the road, and it's basically every man for himself. So in a minute here, that jeepney right there is going to pull over to let somebody in the jeepney, and I'm going to squeeze right in there as people are going. See, that car is going around him. So I'm going to get into that spot. Yeah, you see, even as you're merging, people don't cut you any slack. They don't cut you any slack. So you see on the far left, you'll see that people drive against traffic on the far left lane. Very common here. Weave out there against traffic. And then squeeze back in between cars. You'll see it right there. See how they squeeze in, then they get out there. Very, very irresponsible, very, very foolish, very dangerous, very dangerous, very unacceptable. So, and you see over there on the far right, there's somebody parked in the parking lane. Very good. But you'll see motorcycles use that parking lane even to drive against traffic. There's some dogs walking in the roadway. So this is what I mean by stay in your lane, keep your speed. See the guy on the left right there, like riding a horse, very common. They just let their legs hang down like riding a horse. It is so funny. I don't know who teaches that in the motorcycle driving school, but they should be fired. And here we go. This is a typical exit from the interstate, from the expressway. And it's the battle royale of who's going to be the strongest will. You know, it's like playing chicken. And people refuse to let people cross. Like here you have all these motorcycles here. There's a guy in the left wanting to cut across, and they won't let him. So all the traffic behind them and behind that person wanting to cross is all backed up because these guys refuse to let him in. So he's going to squeeze in there, and the jeepney blocked him too. So he'll cut into my lane a little bit to be able to maneuver around the traffic. I just sit there and let him in. Go, let him in. What you can't see here in the camera is that I'm trying to see if you can catch the lights blinking, but there's a big tour bus behind me, and he's blinking at me, basically telling me, get up there, you know, move up, move forward. And anytime that car right there ahead of me, it moves forward, the guy behind me is blinking his lights. But you can see what I'm doing is I leave space between me and the car ahead of me. And the reason I do that is for safety, but also motorcycles, and you'll see one here on this trip occasionally, they will, oh yeah, be careful of that. Pedestrians, see how he squeezed in there? they will drive perpendicular to your lane to get between you and get into the other lane. So I leave them space. I used to pull up tight, and they would squeeze in there and walk their motorcycle in between your car and the one in front of you. And it's like, I don't want some idiot on a motorcycle denting my car. So now I leave them space. But the guy in back of me driving the tour bus, like the one there on the right, he cannot accept my driving skill set. He's beeping his lights at me or flashing his lights at me, trying to get me to close up just that little space. He doesn't like me having even one car length between me and the car in front of me. And the more he flashes, the more space I'm going to gain. So, but these tour bus drivers, I tell you guys, I honestly think they are on some serious drugs. Remember back in the old days when the over-the-road truck drivers used to drive and take like prescription drugs or over-the-counter drugs like speed to keep them awake. I think these bus drivers are the same way. And you'll see them on roads like this. This is a 4-lane road, and they call it a highway. You will see the bus drivers swerving in and out of traffic for, I don't know why. Where can you possibly go? But this is a very good representation. Like I said, it's a very good representation of driving in the Philippines. And it doesn't matter if it's 5:30 in the morning, like right now, or it's 5:30 in the evening, or it's 2 o'clock in the evening. You will encounter traffic like this. You just got to stay in your lane, put on some music, chill out, relax, and just keep your head on a swivel and don't worry about it. The thing that gets me is that the way people are driving, the way people are behaving in this traffic is so counterintuitive to the Filipino lifestyle, because Filipinos don't respect time. They don't respect the clock. They are late everywhere they go. So just because they're going to work really shouldn't make a difference, right? So just relax. You'll get there. And no matter how much you weave and drive against traffic and split lanes and this and that, you're only going to gain like 1 or 2 minutes at the end of your trip. That's it. And the guys, I think, on the far left on the bicycle, I can't believe people ride bicycles in this traffic. When I was riding a bicycle in Florida, I avoided traffic at all costs. We would reroute we would never, oh my goodness, we would never ride in anything like this. So people just like to cross the road just randomly, they don't care about crosswalks. There are CTMO officers that will help. Lane splitting is acceptable. See the guy on the far right over there? He was driving in the parking lane. So there's 1, 2, 3, 4, 5 lanes of traffic traveling on a 2-lane road. 5 lanes of people driving in 2 lanes assigned to the side of the highway. And if the motorcycles were forced to stay in 1 lane, if they didn't cut traffic, if they didn't squeeze in between cars and split lanes, the traffic might be, I don't know, the traffic might be 10 times worse. But on the road, they're actually making traffic lighter, I guess, if you think about it that way. They're kind of a benefit and a causation to the traffic jams. Did you see that guy a few seconds ago driving against our lane of traffic in the parking lane? That's it. When you're driving here, you have to be able to find the humor. You have to think of this as you're on Mr. Toad's Wild Ride, and just find something that can make you just laugh inside. Occasionally, you'll see a motorcyclist wiped out on the road, and it's like, it's his fault. You don't even have to find out the information or investigate the accident. It's going to be the motorcyclist's fault. Without a doubt. Without a doubt. They're much like squirrels. They really can't decide what lane they want to be in. And then you'll see people in cars, they drive with the white lane going down the center of their car. But don't mind me. I'm going to squeeze out there to move 5 feet. And then, there's somebody cutting across. Tricycle. As a Westerner, people say, what do I have to get used to? What's one of the biggest changes in the Philippines that I should get used to? Is driving in traffic. And traffic is everywhere. You need to just slow your roll, chill out. You see the people standing in the middle of the highway? They're just standing there waiting to cross. 50 feet down the road, there's a crosswalk. So watch this guy. He's going to try to squeeze me out in his bus. And I'll pull up and just remind him, I'm here, Then he's going to pull up a little bit more. He's trying to squeeze me out of my lane. Just for no reason. They like to bully you. They use their 40-foot vehicle. Excuse me. They use a 40-foot vehicle as a bullying tool. And they'll want to squeeze you out of your lane, and they're not even coming into your lane. They will go back into their lane. So we're getting ready to pull into the industrial park where Aznet's workplace is, and we'll let her off. I hope you guys have enjoyed this ride. Like I said, this is a very real representation of driving in the Philippines. If you suffer from a short temper or you get aggro really easy, just take a jeepney or take a taxi or a scooter, tricycle, anywhere you go. Don't get in a car and drive on these roads, because it'll be doomsday for you. So here's a guy who just cuts right in front of me right here. Right there, cuts in front of me. And I'm assuming that there's 3 or 4 cars ahead of him. So I'm just chilling. But he's not moving forward. What are you doing? So let me see what's in front of him. Oh, there's nothing. He just wanted to cut in front of me and park there. So I'm going to let Aznet off. And that's it for this episode of Mayhem in the Philippines. I'll talk to you guys later. Have a wonderful day.